What's up, guys? My name is Ali, and I wanted to share a video today on how to be a good, godly wife, what the Bible has to say about being a good Christian wife. I've been married for a little over 3 years now. I've definitely learned a lot, though. I definitely learned a lot along the way, and these are just a couple points that I wish I knew before getting married, or things that I've struggled with personally through the years or whatever. But jumping right in, I'm just going to start with my first point. I feel like this is so important, but being a godly wife is not performative. I feel like a lot of people, when reading into it, it seems like a lot of performance, but you have to have the genuine character. So you want to, you don't have to be like the perfect wife, the quiet little perfect wife, and you definitely don't want to be submissive to your husband in like a fake way, right? So you're just trying to fake out this performance, and you're trying to serve him, and you're trying to do these things with him or be submissive to him, but it's not genuine. It's not from the heart. So your heart posture needs to be there, that your character needs to be there over the performance. So I just want to start off with that. That's a huge point. You want to be submissive to your husband, and you want a man who's worth being submissive to, right? Because he is submitting to God. So I just really want to start with that. It's about character first over the performance. So jumping right into it too, since I just brought up submission, that's my second point. Obviously, the Bible has a lot to say about wives being submissive. So I'm just going to jump in, and I'm going to read Ephesians 5. This is verse 22. Wives, submit to your own husbands as to the Lord, for the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is the head of the church, his body, and is himself its Savior. Now, as the church submits to Christ, so also wives should submit in everything to their husbands. I'm not going to lie to you guys. It's hard sometimes, but straight up, like I said, you should be marrying a man worth submitting to, right? You're not marrying potential or somebody who might be worth submitting to one day. No, he needs to be the man you're willing to submit to now before you get married to him. And it's because he's submitting to Christ, right? And so I feel like submission can be hard to figure out because it seems like control, right? It's like God is just giving the full right to the husband to say and do anything. So it feels like you're being controlled, but you're not. You are marrying a man you are entrusting to lead you, right? To do you right, basically, because he's following God, and God gave him that role, that position of spiritual leadership, and to be the leader of the house. And so if he's following God, you should be submitting to him, because the things and the decisions that he's making should be good ones, right? So I mean, as somebody who has been someone who has submitted to her husband the past few years, it was hard for me at first because I thought I knew everything, right? And that my answer is always right. But time and time again, there's been times where he's put his foot down and said, "You know what? I'm making the final call on this decision," and it's been the right one. I can't even tell you guys how many times I've been wrong. So submitting to your husband is really important, and it works, you guys. God made marriage, and then he gives us the steps on how a marriage should work and what the rules are. And if you actually listen to what the Bible has to say, it works really well. Now, don't think I'm going to leave out the next verse. Of course, it says, "Husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her." So obviously, it only works if the wife's doing her role in her part and the husband is also doing his role in his part. But I'm telling you guys from firsthand experience, it does work, and it's amazing too. I mean, I love submitting to my husband. He is an amazing leader. He's an amazing spiritual leader, and of course, it's because he follows God first. But anyways, I'll stop yapping about submission and move on to my third point, which is your identity is not wife first, and you have to remember that. It can get really messy really quick, but you will always be God's daughter first, right? And then wife second. If you put your relationship or your role as a wife or your husband first, you're gonna get you're gonna feel so many not good feelings. Like, you're gonna get very insecure. You might even start to get super controlling or just super dependent, right? God did give us the blessing of marriage, but it was never meant to go over our relationship with Him. Remember, you are God's daughter. You are a woman of God first, and then your role as a wife does come second. We always put God first. We always follow God first, and we always also have to focus on growing with Christ also ourselves. And it helps us to really stay grounded in our marriage, right? Our main purpose is the fact that we are children of God. So, and it goes the same for your husband too. He is a son of God first before he's husband. So, always putting God first above yourselves, above your spouse, and above your relationship. It is so, so important. Number four is a big one, and I'm going to tell you guys right now, I'm going to be so honest with you. This is the one I've struggled with the most, right? I'm just going to say how it is. Respect over nagging. Guys, we joke about it all the time. Wives nagging, whatever. You say it, you joke about it, but then you start doing it and you don't even realize. I've done it so many times, right? Because let's be honest, guys, our significant others, our husbands, can be really frustrating at times, maybe forgetful, forgetting some of the little things, whatever it might be. But we just start nagging. And let me tell you from firsthand experience, I cannot even tell you why I do it so much, but it happens. But your communication style is so important because all it takes is the wrong communication style that starts causing issues in your marriage, right? In your relationship, and things can really get turned upside down. Your communication between each other is everything. If you're giving him constant criticism, even if you have good intentions and a good heart in it, if you're giving your man constant criticism, it's just taken as disrespect, right? I mean, nobody wants to be constantly criticized. It's okay to criticize and give each other like some helpful tips, whatever, but you also have to be uplifting him, right? You have to be telling him what he's been doing great at. You know, you've been great at spiritual leading our family. Um, you know, you've been making really good decisions for our future lately. You need to uplift him. You can't just constantly criticize. I mean, you can't tear down your man daily and then expect him to lead you confidently. Each criticism is just going to take down his confidence, especially if you're constantly doing it and in a nagging way. I mean, it's very destructive very quickly. And guys, just like Proverbs 21:19 says, I'm actually going to pull it up because this verse I have probably had to read 100 times, and my husband's probably showed it to me a time or two also. But Proverbs 21:19, it is better to live in a desert land than with a quarrelsome and fretful wife. Guys, the Bible literally says your man is better off in a hot, dry desert with no food and no water than to be around your nagging all the time. So it's destructive. It's really bad. It's really bad. And I'm telling you, I have to point it in my out in myself all the time. It's something I struggle with. You just gotta stop. You gotta stop nagging. It's doing nothing good for nobody. Okay, point number five is to pray instead of reacting. And guys, this one is huge. If you guys hear anything in this entire video, it's this one. Every time you feel a reaction coming out, right? A big one, a big anger reaction or a sad reaction, it doesn't matter. Go to prayer. And I don't mean just go, but run. Run as fast as you can to get into prayer. I'm not even kidding. The amount of times this has literally saved me. There has been so many times. Well, so my husband and I, he actually made a vow when we got married that we would never go to bed angry, right? So what does this mean? Sometimes we have to stay up till 2 in the morning to figure something out, and we'll literally not go to bed angry. And there was this one night that we were not seeing eye to eye on something. We were struggling pretty hard, and it got to the point where I realized that I wasn't gonna be able to figure out this problem. He wasn't gonna be able to figure out this problem. So we needed to pull in the third person in our relationship, which is God. So instead of reacting more than I already had, I just stopped. I went quiet. I dropped onto my knees. I grabbed my husband, pulled. I said, "Get over here." He dropped to his knees, and we just went to prayer. And we just sat there and we prayed and we prayed and we prayed and we asked God to help us figure it out because we weren't seeing eye to eye. And the amount of times we've done that, you guys, the amount of times it's worked. Just stop, take a breath, like just stop. In the middle of an argument, it doesn't matter what you guys are doing. In the middle of an argument, stop and pray. Just pray. Because, guys, there's three people in a marriage. right? It's you, your husband, and God. And you gotta pull in God. You gotta ask Him for help because marriage is not easy. Men and women are very different, and you're gonna have disagreements. You're not always gonna see eye to eye, and you're definitely gonna struggle sometimes. And that's completely okay. But go to prayer overreacting, right? Every single time, you guys, I'm telling you, it's foolproof. It has worked every single time I've ever done it, and especially me because I can and I have been a very reactive person. Taking a step back to say that quick prayer or just to go quiet and in silence and to ask for God's help has literally helped me and my husband so many times because it just stops an argument and it just brings a new insight. It's literally my favorite thing to do is ask for God's help. Guys, ask for his help because he is willing to help and he has helped many times. Okay, my last point and another huge one, guys, is grace over perfection. I have to remind you guys of this because it's huge. I feel like we all, well, I'm not going to say we all, but I feel like when people get married, it's very contractual, right? You do this for me, I'll do this for you. You do this for me, I'll do this for you. Or I'll only love you or do be your wife, whatever, if you don't do this to me, whatever it might be. And then so we kind of expect perfection out of marriage almost. We expect like, oh, you're just gonna be this awesome, perfect person in our marriage the whole time. Guys, that's crazy. I'm just telling you right now, it's crazy and it doesn't work out that way. In your marriage, you have to have grace. You are going to mess up. Not when or if or whatever. You will mess up. He will mess up. You both will mess up and not just sometimes but a lot. And especially like I mean you're getting married for life, right? We're talking years and years and years and years. You're going to mess up and it's going to be a lot. So you have to be ready and willing to forgive. You guys have to forgive each other. You guys have to learn together. You have to grow together. You guys are not going to have a perfect marriage. um, you're gonna run into a lot of issues and a lot of disagreements, and sometimes you're gonna say things that you don't mean. You have to be ready to forgive, and you have to be ready to give grace. And God says in the Bible too that um, we must forgive each other the same way that He forgave us. And I'm not gonna lie to you, you're not just gonna have to forgive each other for small stuff, you guys. The stats and statistics of the big stuff that happen in marriage, I mean, it's just the majority of people experience a lot of hardship in marriage. And of course, like people do need to be held accountable for things, but you have to be ready to forgive. You have to be ready to give grace. It's the only way to get through marriage. It's the only way. And again, we do have to learn from them. We have to grow from them. We do have to be better, right? We want to be better, not just for our spouse, but for God, right? It's so important. But I'm just going to read you guys Corinthians 13 because God literally explains to us what love is. And you can find it. I'm going to read First Corinthians 13 to you guys. God describes what love is. Love is patient and kind. Love does not envy or boast. It is not arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice at wrongdoing, but rejoices with the truth. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. This is what the Bible has to say about love and what love is. Now, I'm going to ask you what, guys, one thing, and I'm also going to tell you this is what the Bible tells you on how to be a godly wife. And if you want to know what I mean by that, replace the word love with your name. If you read your name in the place of love in this passage, you're doing something wrong, right? This is how you need to be. This is what makes you a good wife. And if you don't know what I mean, I'm going to show you. I'm going to replace the word love with my name. Ready? Ali is patient and kind. Ali does not envy or boast. She is not arrogant or rude. She does not insist on her own way. She is not irritable or resentful. She does not rejoice at wrongdoing, but rejoices with the truth. Ali bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. You guys, this is what makes you a godly wife. This is what love is. The Bible spells it out to us. I'm going to be honest with you. As I was reading that passage, I was convicted because yeah, you know what? I am a lot of those things. Like I I struggle with a lot of those words I just read and it's not easy, but this the Bible tells us this is love. And I mean, this is what we need to strive to be like, you guys, in our relationship. So I hope you guys were able to learn something today. I'm sorry it got so dark out here. I don't know why I decided to do this in front of the window right as it was turning nighttime. Um, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video and learned something. Like I said, I'm still working and growing to be a better wife every single day. It's not easy, but it's a lot of fun. And like I said, especially when you are married to an amazing man of God. Guys, marriage is such a blessing. I mean, God says it's a blessing for a reason. It's amazing, and it takes a lot of learning together, a lot of growing together, but it's so worth it. So I would appreciate a like, a subscribe, drop down a comment, anything that may have resonated with you. I would love to see any comments that you guys drop. I love to talk to you guys. So thank you guys again for watching today, and I hope you guys have an amazing